Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE NXT on November the 11th, 2015. And, I really liked this NXT. If anything, for the aspect of how Apollo Crews reacted to Baron Corbin interfering in the NXT title match the week before. This is one of those moments that you would expect. Like, you see so many times in wrestling that the face just kind of nonchalantly shrugs off the aspect that they got screwed over in their match. But in this case with Apollo Crews, he comes out there, he goes right after Baron Corbin. I like the aspect that they have him going straight after Baron Corbin for him initially attacking Apollo Crews and then eventually Finn Balor in the match and causing the disqualification and basically costing him the title or potentially winning the title on that night. I like this aspect that, he got angry over this. It makes him feel more, even though he's a face character, he gets angry over things. And his promo afterwards was just the exact same way. It's like he's made it very clear. He's going after Baron Corbin right now. Obviously, he's not going over after the NXT title. He wants to get his hands on the guy who screwed him out of the title. I liked where they went with this. And it just came off really well throughout those two segments of the show. The Ascension cut probably one of their better promos. Oh wait, they're cutting their promos in NXT, not on the main roster. So they have a better chance of making a good one at this point in time. So the promo that they cut on Jordan Gable and basically accepting their challenge, I like the promo that the Ascension did. I think it was a lot better than it was back to their NXT promos versus where they've been with the main roster. And yeah, I definitely like that. I definitely liked this promo a lot more, and be looking forward to watching Gable and Jordan going up against the Ascension the next week. The match with the 6-person tag team match with not Sasha Banks, but Alexa Bliss and Blake and Murphy, and Bayley and the Hype Bros. This was a pretty fun 6-person tag team match. I thought they did a relatively good job there with the entire match, and basically playing up with the crowd and everything, with Hype Bros and Bayley playing up with the crowd and everything. Obviously, trying to preview the aspect that Bayley, the main focus was around Bayley and Alexa Bliss in this case, and I actually liked the ending of the match where you have Alexa Bliss taking the title and basically trying to chase away or distract Bayley in some way, which eventually, the match ending was a little bit weird because it seemed like, okay, shouldn't just Bayley be going after Alexa Bliss? But then, eventually she had to do the belly to belly to one of her opponents, and then chases after Alexa Bliss. It was a little bit weird in that sense, and we'll get a little bit more into that a little bit later on. Up next, you had Nia Jax basically destroying another opponent at this point, and basically kind of showing off of everything that she can do at this point in time, just making her look extremely vicious, extremely strong, and everything like that. And that's what they need to do with her. But they also had a moment before the match where she was going off and talking with Eva Marie. So you have them starting the pot with that a little bit, something with Eva Marie and Nia Jax down the road, probably teaming up in some way, shape, or form. You also had later on in the show where Bayley's looking for Alexa Bliss, eventually finds her, and then gets her title back, and then runs into Nia Jax. And then you have, of course, Alexa Bliss attack Bayley because they're still continuing on with that. So you also have a stare down with Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. I like the aspect that Nia Jax stays there and stares down Alexa Bliss after she attacked Bayley. And I like that aspect. It's like, hey, I could be coming for you next type of aspect. Person going after the title next. Obviously, then looks at she looks at the title. It's like, I want in a way of kind of wanting to go after it. I liked what they did there. And so, they're kind of setting up things for the future. So we'll see where they go with it, everything in that sense. They're definitely making it look like Nia Jax might be more heel than as a face. And honestly, with the way that she has been kind of portrayed initially, she probably needs to be more of a heel character. And we'll see where they go with everything with Nia Jax down the road. Up next was Dash Wilder, Scott Dawson going up against the Von Villains. This was a good match. This is a really good match, and just on the aspect of, yes, Dawson and Wilder were in control for most of the match, and you didn't really get much from the Von Villains there, in that sense. But the way Dash and Wilder picked apart Aiden English's knee and everything in that aspect, eventually having him in there in the end, and then ending the match with a leg lock of some kind to attack the knee and everything like that. I liked what they did with it, and they made it feel like it's like, oh, this is the chance for the Von Villains to make a comeback and win and keep the tag team titles. People weren't expecting them to take the tag team titles off of them yet, and then Dawson and Wilder win the match, and now they're tag team champions. So it's like, oh, okay. So they definitely went in a nice way here. I liked how they did it. You had them pick apart a body part, and you had them in the match with the body part they've been picking apart the entire match. I liked it. It was a great way of going for this match, and we'll see where they go with everything. Obviously, they're going to do something down the road a little bit more with them. Let's see how long they play up Aiden English with a potential knee injury out of that one, and hold on and see if they're going to hold off on having a rematch or anything like that to try to not necessarily work over, but play off of that angle of a potential knee injury and everything like that after the match. So we'll see where they go with everything there. I definitely like this tag team title match. I thought it was a really good one. Up next was Samoa Joe, basically, giving his explanation of why he attacked Finn Balor the week before. This was a great promo. It made sense, and it wasn't like he threw anything under the rug and to pretend people didn't even know about it. It's like, yeah, okay, it was talking about choices and actions and everything like that. And it was like he did a choice by teaming up with Finn for the Dusty Rhodes Classic. He took action by actually doing it, and they won the tournament and everything like that. And then he talks about how Finn Balor, after asking Finn Balor for the NXT title shot, and doesn't throw under the rug that he actually did accept the challenge, but there was no action behind it, and that was why he attacked Finn Balor. And then of course, eventually Finn Balor coming out and the two going at it to eventually. Well, they didn't really go at it. It was more of Joe throwing the referee into Finn Balor and then choking him out in that sense. So basically making it, Joe trying to take action for everything now and trying to get an NXT title shot. He wants to take action. He wants that NXT title shot. I liked where they went with this promo. It made sense. It didn't sweep anything under the rug from everything. Like they even they have Joe make mention. It's like, but Finn Balor did accept your title match, but William Regal put you in a battle royal, and then Joe saying that it was an insult that he deserved and should have been owed a title shot the second he walked in the door. Just classic heel stuff. I liked where they went with it. It was a darn good heel promo from Samoa Joe, and I thought it came off really good. But that's just me. I have liked Samoa Joe in the past, and he is a great heel character. He has great intensity on the microphone, and we'll see where they go with everything with Finn Balor and Samoa Joe down here. It looks like they are going to keep Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin separate from Joe and Balor at this point, which is probably not a bad thing. So we'll see where they go with everything. Overall, this week's NXT I thought was a pretty darn good show. They did a pretty good hour here on NXT. Setting up more with Alexa Bliss. You have these little snippets with Eva Marie and Nia Jax somewhere down the road here. We'll see where they go with that. So we'll see where they go with everything. Obviously, the new tag team champions happening on the show. In some cases, it was a bit of a shock because most people weren't expecting them to take it off the Von Villains. I won't say rather quickly, but almost unexpectedly. It didn't feel like that their title reign needed to end quite yet. So we'll see where they go with everything. I enjoyed this week's NXT. Thought it was pretty darn good. And like I said, we'll see where they go with everything here. And I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.